Welcome back to the Cheshire Dog Lady podcast, episode 4. Today we are going to dive into the world of weddings, and our special guest today is Kat from SIMPLYSOCIALS. She's a wedding content creator. We've worked together before. Obviously, if you don't know, I'm a dog chaperone for their dogs to come along to the weddings, so we're going to dive into all of those things and talk about the modern day wedding. Tune in, sit back, have a cuddle with your dog and enjoy the podcast. Today's guests on my knee are Chili and Bo.
That'll be me. I've just been sat talking to you and I'm like, I don't know what to say.
So welcome, Kat. Bo's made herself at home on your knee.
She has.
So weddings. Obviously weddings are big for me, and weddings is your bag, your speciality. Yeah. For me, the thing that really screams out is it's the most, or one of the most special days of somebody's life. And when I'm going, as I'm sure you'll agree, it's like everything's got to run perfect. There is no room for sort of any mishaps. I know there is little, you know.
Always.
But you must think the same as me. Oh my God, all this has got to go to plan.
Yeah, and I think when couples naturally get their timelines, I always say, like, you actually don't know what time it is during the day, like a bride and a groom, etc. They don't actually know what time it is.
No.
And you have this conception of like, it's got to be perfect, everything's got to run to the time. They've got no clue. They don't actually know if we're running 5 minutes behind or not. But I think that on the lead up to it, you do have this idea in your head, don't you, that it's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Everything that you've planned.
Well, they're relying on you, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you want to do the best. I know what I'm like with the dogs. You want to do your best possible job, and you want to give them the best possible content, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think that there is naturally a pressure with being part of somebody's wedding, whether it's like yourself or content photographer. There's that pressure that you want to make sure that you deliver their memories the best that you can, or like you say, like include their dog the best way that you can. And there's naturally that pressure of, you know, this is one of the biggest days of their life. But then there's also, when you look at it a different way, how incredible that we can be part of that.
So just tell us exactly, you're a wedding content creator.
Yeah.
So what exactly does that mean?
So wedding content creation, I describe it as storytelling through the lens of an iPhone. So wedding content creators primarily will use iPhones, essentially film all of the behind the scenes, authentic, raw, candid moments of the day. I always like to say that I capture the day as it unfolds. So nothing from me would ever really be prompted, posed, you know, anything like that. It would be capturing it as it happens. So, you know, those hugs that you have with your family members, they're just happening, aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm sort of there. When you say behind the scenes, I think there is a bit of a misconception with that, because people are like, oh, well, where are you going to be? But you just sort of blend into it really seamlessly, that they know that you're there.
Yeah.
But you are sort of in the background, quietly capturing those memories. And then with a wedding content creator, you would receive the content back usually the next day. You would get the full gallery of all of the raw content, and then we would produce highlight videos as well. With myself, for example, you would get a 2-minute highlight video of your day, and then depending on a package, you may get a couple of extras as well. But the beauty of it is that you can relive all of those moments, you know, days later. It's not edited footage, what you receive that I've taken. So if there's a conversation happening on there with a parent or a bridesmaid, you can listen back to that. Whereas, you know, sometimes videographers, for example, you may not always receive raw footage from them because it's crafted differently.
Yeah.
And obviously a photographer, it's a still image. You can't listen back to people talking. I've gone off on a tangent there, haven't I? But
all right. A lot of people want the natural images, the natural footage, don't they? They don't want that posed, staged look,
in
do
your
they?
Face, kinda,
Because, you know, the modern day wedding now is quite different.
Yeah.
You didn't have your dogs involved.
Yeah.
And that's massive now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're part of the family.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't you?
If they can be there.
I mean, I
they'll
can
be
tell. Well, I think why I'm so passionate about it as well, and I say this to couples when I have like my meet and greet call with them. I don't know if the right word is passionate, but so when I got married 21 years ago, would it have been? Something like that.
Round about there.
Yeah. It was unheard of. You didn't have a dog at a wedding. It's
Yeah.
only something that's happened recently.
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely.
We had a boxer dog called Bruno, and he was our baby.
Yeah.
And we had him brought to the church for photos, which would have been unheard of.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh my God, Bruno's here.
Yeah.
And, that was 20 years ago. And so when people say, or if and are, I'm like, you have to do it.
I always say that, like, if a venue allows them to be there,
Yeah.
then I just think, why not? Like, they are your family too,
Yeah.
And
for most couples, it's their first baby.
yeah, I was going to say that as well. Like,
Not always, but a lot of the time.
don't have children either, so like that is their baby.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just think if they can be there, then
And we do
why
treat
not?
dogs differently now, don't we?
absolutely.
Like years ago, you just went to work, left them at home, and that was it. Now they come to doggy daycare, or they have a dog walker in,
Yeah.
or and the same with the weddings. They're much more part of the family, aren't they?
Yeah,
Look at her.
and keeping me very warm.
How would you say your wedding content creation for couples maybe listening? What would you say is different? Like, why have you, if they're having a videographer, do you find that all three of you can be there, or
Yeah.
they have one or the other?
No, so I think that there's definitely a mixture of what couples do. And when I sometimes like have consultation calls before they book in, and a question people ask a lot is obviously...
I'm gonna lose
Is
both
it gonna?
now.
Oh no. It's obviously, sometimes people will say like, well, what would you recommend? And I always say that if you'll always have, your photographer. And if you're torn between content and videography, I always say content isn't a replacement for videography. It's a totally different service and different outcome.
Which I don't think people always realise.
No, I think people are slowly catching on to it more now. It's so popular.
Yeah.
But I think when it first started, like 3 years ago, people just really didn't understand the difference. But I always say it's personal preference. If as a couple that you like sitting and looking through all the little clips, then you would probably enjoy having a content creator. Equally, if you know that you would like to sit down on your anniversary and watch your full film, then you would also pick a videographer. And I always say, like, if you can, have all three. It's 3 different versions of your story at the end of the day. You've got 3 different perspectives of how it all unfolded. There might be something that I capture that the photographer doesn't, but there might be something that they capture that the videographer does. If you can, it's lovely to have all of us because, like I say, it's 3 different perspectives that you can pull together. But, with content, it is that more instant. You'll get it back the next day, highlights back a couple of days after that. Whereas your videographer, you would get a full cinematic film. They would film your speeches in full, the ceremony. So they are totally different, but they all complement each other.
Yeah. And I think if you've got the budget, 100% all 3.
All of us. Yeah. I know that when it's my turn,
You have it all.
I would have them all.
Are you having me?
Depends what dog I've got.
Whether they're going to behave.
I know. I think if we've got a very well-behaved pooch.
Do you know what, though? Like, everybody says to me, I just don't know if they're going to behave. They behave. They do.
No, I know. I always say that.
I have my magic cheese.
The cheese.
They will do anything for me. Half the time they don't want to go down the aisle because they don't want to leave the cheese.
Leave the cheese, yeah. I know. I think that I always say this about kids sometimes as well. Like, people are like, I don't know what they're going to be like. And they're actually always fine.
Yeah.
And you expect like these monsters and they're not at all. Like 9 times out of 10 I would say, I don't think I've seen a bad dog.
No, touch
reaction
wood.
At a wedding.
I think I did over 40 weddings last year, and there wasn't one dog that didn't behave.
Yeah, I don't
impeccable.
feel like I've seen a mishap.
You haven't seen me being dragged round the crowd going,
where's Emma? She's on the field. No, I don't think I have.
No, you'd be surprised on the day how they do perform.
Oh yeah, it's like they know. Yeah. It's like they think, oh my God, if we don't perform, our parents will not like us.
And everybody likes the magic cheese, don't they? Everyone always goes, what's that in your hand? Like, it's the magic cheese. Or sometimes I have the squirty cheese, or I have the squirty pate stuff.
Yeah.
And literally, they're like hanging on for every little tiny, like, when are you going to give it me again, Emma? I sat nicely, please.
I don't want any more pictures, I just want the cheese. Got the giggles.
So, thinking about your job and obviously crossing over with my role as a dog chaperone, do you find it like changes the energy having a dog there?
Absolutely.
Because I do, but then I'm never there when the dogs are not there.
I think that I'm normally like, oh my God, who is it? Like, I feel like sometimes on their pre-wedding calls, and I'm like, right, what have we got going on?
Yeah.
As soon as they're like, the dogs are coming, I'm like, the dogs are coming, who are they? What are they? You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially because obviously there's a lot of family members and friends at the wedding, as soon as they then see the dog there, everyone's just like flocking over. And it does bring like just this really good energy because everyone's like, oh my God, because the dog is here.
Every single person at that wedding knows the dog.
The dog, exactly. And I think it's lovely. I think it was one that we did in May last year. Their dog was, you know, when we were doing they didn't do confetti, they did bubbles coming out at Owen House Barn.
Yeah.
And they were doing bubbles coming out instead of the confetti. And you were at the back of the line with their dog, and then afterwards they finished sort of this line, and then the dog was like waiting at the end, and I just remember how excited the dog was, you know, like, oh my God, mum and dad are here. And I just think it just brings such a positive, really uplifting note, because everyone's like, oh my God, look who's here.
And I was there trying to keep the dog calm, and everyone's coming over petting the dog and the dog going,
yeah, I know. So how did it start with the wedding chaperoning?
So it was just by accident the service began with me, because I just had an email or a phone call, can't remember because it was a couple of years ago now, and it was from a lady in Congleton, and she'd got 2 mini dash hounds, and she was getting married at Rookery Hall, and she was like, I just wondered, we want home boarding for the 2 nights, the night before the wedding and the night of the wedding, and she said, do you think you could bring them along to the wedding?
Right.
And I was like, oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, of course I will.
Yeah, absolutely. Was dead excited. Went and did it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Like, loved it. Posted a couple of things on my socials about it. And then that just generated a couple of other people saying, oh, we would like our dog at the wedding.
Can you do it, yeah.
And obviously there were some companies already offering dog wedding chaperone service, but it's not something that I'd thought of doing. But then because of the things that I posted from that wedding, they started to like just trickle in, just asking, could I do this? So I was like, yeah, absolutely. I just started to build this service up. Never advertised. Obviously, all I've done is post on my socials, added it to the website. I think that first year after that initial wedding, maybe did 6 weddings that year, which I was like, dead chuffed. I was like, wow, I've not advertised.
And you've already got them.
Yeah. And then the following year I had, I think it was over 20, between 20 and 25. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, wow.
What have I started here?
And last year I had 44.
I know, it's amazing.
And I can't believe it. Like, I'm nearly at 40 this year, but they'll still keep trickling in for me. Because for most people, it can be not a last minute thing, but they don't always think about the dogs way ahead.
Yeah, when they first book.
Whereas when people are booking photographers and videographers and yourself, they book way in advance, don't they? So I do think they'll still trickle in for this year. But 2027 are flying in now, which I'm sure
everyone's
you will.
In planning mode.
Yeah, and I have got 2 for 2028.
Oh my God, you've opened already?
Yeah, well, I just...
That's amazing.
Don't hang about.
I think it's crazy when people are so ready to book in that far in advance.
Yeah.
And that must be so lovely for you, because like you say, originally you started it and it was just something that somebody had
just requested.
Just said, would you do that to what it has become now?
Yeah.
I think that's so
and then I've really just evolved with it, really.
Yeah.
And like now, obviously 3 summers on, I've developed this service, and I think what's popular is what I offer, which a lot of people didn't offer, but I think they're starting to offer now, which was behind the scenes footage from your dog's point of view. And I then do a reel for the couples.
So I love that. So they've not only got like whatever from the day, they can see what the dog's
like I am a content creator.
You could literally call yourself the behind the scenes dog content creator.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I love that idea. But I just did it because I love doing it. I've always been, my mum will tell you, I've always been a massive fan of taking photos and videos. I love memories and keeping them. So I just did it as a natural thing for the couples.
Yeah, because they're not going to see what the dog is up to.
No.
And what better perspective to have it from you when you're already with them. I love that.
Yeah, and then when I started doing the reels for the couples, I think that's when the numbers started jumping up.
Yeah.
Because people were looking at my socials and were like, oh wow, like we want one of those videos from our dog's point of view.
Yeah. So how does it work then with the service? How long would you sort of be around on the wedding day?
I'm normally at the wedding probably maximum 3 hours. So I say to people, I'll be there if people want. It is tailored to everybody.
Yeah.
So if the dog is going to be involved in the ceremony, I'm normally there roughly 2.5, 3 hours. So I'll always get there an hour before the ceremony time so that they can get used to the venue. We go and check out the ceremony room. They can mingle with the guests and say hello to everybody.
Yeah, when they get in there.
Yeah, and sort of get the dog into a calm position, really. Then obviously they'll be involved in the ceremony.
Yeah.
And then we do always advise that they get the photos done with the dog as soon as possible afterwards, because by that time we're in 3 hour slot then, and they're exhausted, they're so overstimulated, like they get in the car and they don't move all the way home. But then some people will say, I just want them there for the photos, and that's absolutely fine. They don't want them or trust them to be part of the ceremony. I do try to persuade people, but some people are like, no, just photos.
Some people just know your dog sometimes, don't you?
And that's fine. So we'll arrive for when the ceremony's probably gone in and get them, just give them a walk round, and then photos, and then back here. And I think the beauty of what we can offer is we're licensed for home boarding, so they can book everything with us. They can book the dog chaperoning, and they can book the dog to stay
come
here
back with you. And I think that's nice because they've got that element of trust in you that you're already bringing them to the wedding, but they also know that they're being taken care of as well. I think that's just such a good all-round package though, because I know that there are a few that don't offer that, do they?
If they don't do home boarding, then they've got to go and pick them up and drop them off to wherever, kennels or whoever they're staying with. I would say family and friends, but most people would be at the wedding. That's the thing. Most people will say, normally family have them, but
they're busy.
I
love it. I mean, I've always loved dogs. So the moment someone tells me the dogs are coming, I'm like, tell me more. I've even got pictures, like off because we do like face-to-face meetings. So I've even got pictures where like the dog's like up on the camera, and I'm like, because I think like you say, they're part of the family. I would always encourage people to have them there, like if the venue allows it.
And most do now.
And a lot of them do now.
Otherwise they're going to lose out on bookings.
Like you say. And I think for some people, it's a bit of like a non-negotiable that they can have the dogs there, because like you say, if all family and friends are at the wedding, can't look after them, and they want to know that they can bring them and be a part of it because they are family too. But I just love it. I think it's such a lovely part of the day. It just makes everyone so happy, doesn't it?
And you might get this. You might get, well, actually, somebody there will capture the moments, and I'll get the odd person say, we don't know whether to book a dog wedding chaperone, or just one of the family or friends are going to have the dog during the ceremony, and can you just come and pick it up? And I'm like, that's fine, you do what you want to do, but my advice is you do need a professional dog chaperone, because that person just wants to enjoy the day. They don't want to be worrying about
the stress of it,
if the dog's going to have a wee or a poo, or how to keep them calm.
And I think that it's probably similar really with content as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will say, oh, my bridesmaid will just take
Yeah.
pictures, videos, whatever. And again, that's fine if that's what you want to do, but then you are putting that pressure onto someone who's trying to enjoy the day.
Yes.
You know, you've asked them to be part of the wedding, so you wouldn't want to put the stress of either, you know, trying to look after and coordinate with the dog the same way that you wouldn't want to then give the job to one of your friends to take the content, because you want the best out of each service
definitely.
for your wedding
Everybody
day.
just needs to have a stress-free day.
Yeah, we just want a good day.
Let somebody else do that. I say to
Yeah.
people, because they'll be worried on the phone about certain things with the dog, and I say, you don't need to worry. Let me do all the worrying
That's
about
your
the dog.
job, yeah.
I said, you just enjoy your day. Don't worry about where the dog is, what it's doing, whether it's behaving. I will sort the dog out.
Yeah, because I think back to some of the weddings that we've done and how brilliant you are, because you know, you've done that many weddings now, you know where you need to be, you know, in position alongside us, the, you know, photographer, etc. So that the dog's looking at you and your cheese.
Yeah, I'm
And
dangling.
you're like...
and I'm making lots of different
you know,
noises.
As like a content creator or photographer, videographer, we're trying to get that shot that the couple have asked for. You know, if it's like the shot of them and a couple of family members and the dog sat.
Yeah.
I don't know the dog. I can shout its name, you know, but it's not necessarily going to respond to me. So I think, like you say, having a professional there to do that, someone that knows how to speak with the dog and calm the dog as well, because that's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some breeds, I imagine, are a lot more excitable than others. And I think you need that person there that they recognise and like the dog trusts as well. Like, never mind.
Yeah.
That's the...
People must think that their wedding is an endless list, but it's really important to get the right people.
So, considering you've been to probably a fair few venues now, have you got a dream wedding venue on your list?
Okay, that's a tricky one, because I do feel like I've done a full tour of most of the Cheshire venues now, and a few of Shropshire ones, and they are all gorgeous and got different, you know, pros and cons.
Yeah, quality.
But I would have to say my dreamiest one is Hawkstone Hall.
It is gorgeous there.
Just because of the separate chapel.
Yes.
So you feel like you're still getting like a proper church type
drive up to it as well. Just everything about it.
Yeah, Hawkstone Hall for me.
It is beautiful. That is a good one.
There is a lot of beautiful venues, don't get me wrong,
yeah.
guys. There is a lot of stunning. But it just depends. Everybody's got different tastes.
Yeah, and no wedding is the same either, is it? No two weddings are the same at all.
I mean, I love the wedding barns. I love Owen House.
Yeah.
But then I love Petherton Castle. That's a bit old. And
I know. I love some of the halls that I've been to, but then I'm like you, like I love Owen House. I think that there's loads of pros about being there. But then I could go to it, like, you know, where have I been recently that I've really loved? I like Arley Hall. Have you ever watched Peaky Blinders?
Yeah.
It's where Thomas Shelby lives.
Oh.
You know the big drive, and he drives up to this humongous.
Yeah.
Well, it's a hall, not a house.
Yeah.
It's his house.
It's his house?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did a wedding there last year, and it's just gorgeous. Obviously, it's a very old building, so I could go from like that to then, like you say, a wedding barn and be like, oh, this is really cool. So it does depend on the couple, doesn't it? And like their kind of vibe. Yeah.
What their vibe is, yeah.
It was his house.
But Hawkstone Hall.
No, I have to agree with you on that. It is beautiful there.
Stunning. What's the most diva dog breed that you've tried to capture?
Oh gosh, that is hard. I've seen quite a few different breeds actually. I think that I would probably say the most excitable that I have seen, it's got to be Spaniels. I've seen a couple of Spaniels last year.
I might have to agree.
They were just very excitable.
Live wires.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas I think like saw a couple dash hounds last year and they were like super chill.
Yeah.
Like really chilled little beans.
The trouble is the spaniel is a high energy dog.
Well, exactly. So I feel
and
like
sometimes if I'm bringing a spaniel, I can't really get it well exercised before it comes, because if it gets dirty, then it's dirty.
yeah, and then you don't want it like jumping up at the bride's dress.
So it's not like I can take it on a big hike and tire it out, because then it would be filthy dirty. Yeah. So it's so hard.
Do you have any sort of tricks that you do with any breeds like that where they are more high energy?
Well, they're normally more food driven, so you've got to have something extra special in your pocket, chicken or the spready cheese.
The extra cheese.
It's no use just having normal kibble. and then hopefully, because
chicken.
they are a very clever breed. They're very easy to train, so they do normally respond, but they can be hard, yeah.
Have you got a favourite?
Oh, gosh.
I know.
Have I got a favourite breed to take? Oh.
Or have you got like a wedding that you did where...
I don't know.
And he was really hard, isn't it, because they're all so lovely.
I love all the ones that will just photograph like to perfection.
Like just perfect.
And I say to people, like, my job is to work with the photographer to try and get you the best possible images. Like, that's what I want to do. I'll do everything in my power.
That's why they want them there, isn't it? To have a lovely image of them and
I
the
will
dog.
do everything in my power to get you that shot.
We worked when... I think that might have been July. They had a Shih Tzu and he was the ring bearer.
The one that I brought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was really good. He ran straight to them in the ceremony. Like, he was really good. And I remember, I've got this gorgeous shot of him. He's got like a little lake behind him and he was such a good dog.
Yeah, yeah.
He was really cute. I remember him.
It's funny because when they come for their meet and greet here, I do say to them, like, does your dog, because you can't assume that a dog knows commands.
Yeah, of course.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
But there has been a few occasions where people have said, well, and I'm like, well, your homework is to go home and practice sit. Because if your dog doesn't know sit, it's not going to sit for any photos.
He's not going to sit for them
no matter what I do,
yeah.
I need your dog to sit and stay there. So that's your homework.
Blooper. I don't know about you, but I haven't really had any mishaps yet that I've seen with dogs at weddings. But what would you do if a dog on a bride's dress? Or, do you know what worst case scenario, by the way?
I suppose that is worst case scenario, and those things do cross my mind. I don't generally have a fear of them on the dress. I do have fear of the male dogs going and cocking the leg up the dress.
Of course.
Because that's more likely to happen.
Yeah, probably than a poo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touch wood, none of that has
same.
ever happened. And the dog hasn't stopped mid-aisle either, like midway down to go.
Oh my God, I've never even thought about that either.
They could easily go and cut their leg up the flowers.
Because I think, like, I'm capturing stuff as it's unfolding. So say that happens and we're in the ceremony, like... Would they want me to stop recording that, or would people find it funny? Because I don't know if the staff would find it funny at the venue.
I think there might be a mixture, but certainly for the bride, I don't think she'd be very happy.
Not if that happened.
But I'm armed with everything. I say to people, I'm armed with everything.
Baby wipes,
a towel for their paws, treats, poo bags, like.
What can't you be armed with?
I am prepared for the worst case scenario.
And I suppose you probably walk them round so much beforehand.
Yeah.
We've got everything out the system, hopefully. Oh God, imagine.
I know, that is worst case scenario.
A very worst case scenario.
But I say to people, once you've got the rings, I'll be straight down to retrieve your dog, take them back. Yeah. And I have had people say, you will make sure that they don't. I have had people say, you will make sure that they don't, like, wee up my dress and stuff. And I say, well, obviously I've got no control because the dog's coming down on its own. So I can't physically stop that. But my advice to you is, as the dog's coming down, the groom
greets the dog.
Yeah. You need to grab that dog because you're not going to really be able to bend down much.
Yeah.
So the groom has got to have full control.
Fair enough.
I'm going to pass it over to the groom for the responsibility of that. As soon as you've got the rings, don't worry, I'll come and click your dog on.
Touch wood.
And
We've
bring them
never
back
seen
up.
that yet.
I don't know how you feel. I'm sure you feel the same. It doesn't matter how many weddings you've done, maybe. Every single one just feels really special.
Magical, yeah.
Like, I get so emotional at every single wedding.
Yeah.
I'm searching. I need a pack of tissues on my chair.
I know. I am very like emotionally invested person in a lot. I'm an empath. Like, I feel everything.
Yeah,
and I think that, you know, like from the moment that they book you and you know that you're going to be part of the day, I love to see, like, if they're on social media, I love to see what you're up to. I want to know what you're doing for the hen, what you're doing for the stag do. Like, I love being on that journey beforehand, obviously during and afterwards as well. Like, I have an emotional attachment to all of my couples. And I don't forget, and you're probably saying, you don't forget anyone or any of them or where you've been. And I just think that, like you say, it doesn't matter how many you do. They're all different. So, you know, every day is going to be different no matter where you are. And I just love them.
I feel so privileged to be there.
And be
and
part
that they've asked me. And I drive home buzzing every time.
To be fair, sometimes I might drive home in silence if it's the end of the day. I'm normally like radio on full blast on the way there, get hyped up, you know, got to be there cheering everyone on. And then sometimes by the end of the day, I might have to drive home in silence because I've spoken all day.
You're overstimulated.
Like the dogs. But you're on a high, aren't you? And then, like, I leave and I think, oh my God, I can't wait to go through everything. Probably the same way that you're like, I can't wait to put stuff together for their reel of their dog for them. And it's such a privilege to be a part of.
It is. Totally. I mean, I've got a second person now on the team because we now have requests for the same date, so we were turning people away, so sometimes we have double weddings on the same day, and so we've got Lindsay trained up to do it, and she'll text me and she'll go, I'm crying already.
Crying at the back of the ceremony. I know, when you see so many beautiful moments,
it's just the best day of your life. It really is. I'd say to people, it's the same, isn't it? Like you say, please try and enjoy every moment. You will want to relive that day. And you forget so much that happens, don't you? I mean, I've not obviously personally done it, but I know from being around couples that they'll say, like, oh, I totally forgot that happened. Or, you know, sometimes they won't see certain things. Or, you know, if the dog's in the ceremony, I know that they're present, they're there, but then the day is so busy, it goes by so quickly. So to be able to, like say, relive that days afterwards and be like, oh my God, that happened. And I just think it's such an amazing thing that has been both services that have been brought into weddings. Because, hugely, you know, there's that instant want to relive the moments. You can now do that if you have a content creator, but like you say, years ago people wouldn't have maybe brought their dogs, but now that they can do that as well. And I love that people are doing their own thing with weddings as well. Everyone's just doing it how they want to do it and celebrate. Before we end today's podcast then, what is your top tip for any couples watching? Okay, so I think do your research, because as part of your creative media team, we are there for the whole day. You want to know that it's somebody that you get on with, you vibe with. You also want to make sure that their skills and what they produce for their couples aligns with you as a couple, if it's your kind of vibe, your style. And I think that doing your research, and it can be so overwhelming with social media. There's so many different where's to look, places to look. Have you got a lot of competition then? Yeah, I would say so. I think that it's now, so when I started in 2023, there was probably a handful of us, especially in the Cheshire area as well. There wasn't many of us at all. There's probably like me and maybe one other girl. Now, because it is such a popular service and it's so in demand, we're everywhere. So I think that
it's really overwhelming choosing who you want to capture your day.
Yeah.
But I think doing your research, making sure that you love the work and that you think it actually aligns with you as a couple and would reflect your wedding day the way that you want it to, I would say that that's my biggest tip.
Yeah, and I agree on that. That would be my top tip, is to do your research, because look at people's reviews. That's powerful. Yeah. Really powerful.
Absolutely.
What experience have they got? There's lots of people jumping on the bandwagon when they see something successful, wedding content creator, dog chaperone at weddings.
Everyone thinks
everybody jumps
pick
on.
up an iPhone or pick up the dog lead.
Yeah. Have they got good experience of it? You know, if you're looking for home boarding, are they licensed? What star rating have they got? So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, it's been lovely. We've had a right giggle.
Good old chinwag.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll be at weddings together this year.
We'll have to work it out.
Super.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Cut.